Hi everyone, I'm Priscilla Galleros. I'm with the Environmental Center here in Bend, Oregon. We are here celebrating May Green Drinks in honor of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, which is in May. Please join us in a conversation with Kauai native and Bend transplant Ian Vidinha. Ian runs and operates a Kauai-style Hawaiian food cart here in Bend, Oregon. He'll be sharing about his upbringing in Kauai, his cultural connection to the land and the environment, and traditional practices he grew up with in gathering and preparing food.
My name is Ian Vidinha, born and raised on the island of Kauai. Moved to the mainland in 1999 and been living in the mainland off and on for the last however much years that is. Growing up in a small community like that, everybody comes together for everything. Like first birthday luau's. I mean, my nephew's first birthday was 1,000 people, and we cooked for it. We went out, caught the fish. We went out, caught the pig. We went out, killed the cow. We gathered all the veggies. We gathered everything, and we prepped and cooked everything. You know, like us and our family and friends. So you know, our whole lives, I mean, is circled around our resources we have on the island. You know, I mean, food is the biggest thing. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people's families talk about this as well, but I know in my house we're talking about breakfast. We're eating breakfast. We're talking about dinner. You know, it's like it's the key to your heart is the food, and everybody coming together for that is, and you know, gathering, fishing is just a part of, that's the tradition, man. Everybody just comes out of the woodworks. Cousins you don't see for years, and you're like, all you had to do is make a party and you show up. You know, it's pretty awesome. So that's a big tradition for us is food, gathering, cooking. Grandma wears the pants in a sense, you know, like the grandmas. The grandmas, they're the organized ones. The grandpas are the ones that's going out doing all the hard lifting. You know, the best part about it was any age you go out there, they're going to put you to work. You know, it's from, you know, washing the buckets or grabbing the bag, whatever it is. You're constantly involved. And you know, for me, from a young age, they would give me the knife. You know, now I'm like with my kids, I'm like, you know, shadowing them, and I'm worried. And grandma, and they would just give you the knife and sit there at the table and cut pork fat all damn day. You know, and that's we used to cut sausage. We used to stuff sausage and make sausage, and we used to cut every piece of meat and fat by hand to stuff. You know, and it's tiny pieces. I mean, the connection we have between the food and the land and us is, if we don't take care of the land, we don't get the food. You know, I watched it throughout the years. You know, we raise the sugar cane on the island, and then they take the sugar cane and they take it to the mainland and process it, and then they send it back to us and sell it for more expensive. They do that with the pork. They raise the beef. They raise the cows, and then they send it away to get slaughtered, and then they sell it back to us way more expensive. So if we wanted to be involved with that scene, we wouldn't care about it so much. But you know, if we don't take care of the land, we don't take care, you know, the people, you know, the elders to show us, you know, like grandma lived to 98 years old. Man, I hope I can live to 98 years old to share the you know, every time we go sit down and grandma would be grab your ear like, what are you doing? I told you to cut it like this. All that stuff's going to be lost. So if we don't take care of that, we'll lose it, you know, and it's slowly losing because, you know, a lot of people leaving the land, you know, leaving the island, like I was saying about my son, you know. But if we don't take care of it, you know, just from like the taro patches, we used to grow in the taro patches, and if we never clean the river, or clean the streams, or clean the ditches that go to the taro patch, that water would never get to the taro, and then we would never get the poi. So that little things is huge. And then if you don't take care of it, like, you know, the reefs get damaged, and then you know, they overfish and stuff. So I agree with, you know, like a lot of the locals, they see it and they're like, oh, why are you regulating these things, you know? If you don't regulate them, It's not going to be there for grandkids, so if you don't take care of the land, they're not going to take care of you, That's my motto. That's why I named it Aina, because it's how I learned to cook, everything from the land. Obviously I opened up in the pandemic, right? So I opened up in January, and I think when February, March is when the pandemic hit. So the supply messed up, right? So I had to come up with things on the fly, right? And to me, I don't feel like it phased me in a sense, because that's how we cooked, right? Everything was on the fly. So just say my katsus, I went from chicken katsu, now I'm making majority just fish katsus, and that's because I had a hard time get fish chicken at the beginning of the pandemic, and then now I'm getting a hard time get the tuna steak and mahi mahi steak. So now I got calamari steaks on there that I'm making katsus with, and people are like, how do you come up with these things? And it's like, I just come up with it because I have to. I don't have the ability to just go to a market here and just say, I want all this. If they tell me they don't have it, I don't have it. So I got to come up with something. So I think that style of cooking creates good cooks because we're flexible, The first 2 years living here, I was a stay-home dad, and I was going nuts. I love them, but it just wasn't for me, right? So I would go around and try all these places, and I was like, they're doing good, they're surviving. They've been around for years, the restaurants, and the food wasn't what I wanted to eat and what I wanted to bring. When I go out to a restaurant or someplace for Hawaiian food, this is what I expect, right? And I decided I needed a job, and I was like, okay, I'm going all in, and it's going to be, everybody says, Ian, you're just happy in the kitchen. When they come over to my house, I just love cooking for people. So that everybody would say, you need to just open your own restaurant. You need to open your own restaurant. So going to all these food cart pods, I'm like, man, this is a good low risk. In the sense of things, not too expensive to get into this. I don't have to sell a kidney and liver and my firstborn to afford it. So like, okay, I'm gonna try it. I risked it. I went in, and it's amazing how it took off. The people just fell in love with Aina, and I think I made the right choice. It's pretty awesome, So that's how I got with it. So, don't ask that question again.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No. It's just pretty crazy.
Emotional?
Yeah. Just because this box made me meet so much people in this town. It's like crazy. I walk around, go everywhere. In 4 years, it's like people, we go to breakfast and they're like, oh my goodness, Ian, I lived in South Dakota for 10 years. Not one, nothing, just doing my own grind, working 9 to 5, going to school, nothing. In 2 years, I opened this up, and it's just like unreal. The love, the support, the fan base, the friend base, just. So I think I made the right decision. I want them to know that we strive to make people happy. That's what I try to do, And my food is like, everything comes from the heart. Like, I won't serve something or put it on my menu if I didn't feel like it's what legitimately good or what I would expect when I go in my homeland to eat. So if I don't have something on the menu, obviously we're a small cart, small, but everything we do here comes from the heart and is made with love. And I just want to make everybody feel good and welcoming. That's what when people come to Hawaii, that's what my family gives people, right? This warmth and love, and that's what this truck means to me.
What goes in first, Ian?
So okay, let's start off with the rice. We have the unagi rice on there first.
And what makes it unagi?
Well, we have a unagi sauce on there. So this one is a vegan unagi. So it's not. There's no actual unagi in it, but it's a unagi style sauce. So they call it unagi tiare, which is just unagi sauce without the eel in it.
Without the eel.
Yes, and I personally like it better without the eel because it's not as fishy,
Okay.
and I could sell it too.
To me.
To you, yes.
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 Okay.
So we start with that, and then
start
we
with
put some green mix in there.
Okay.
We,
And then
you
get it
just
like
grab,
this?
yeah, get it, spread it
All
on
of
there,
it?
yeah, make it all pretty.
Tell me
Yeah.
what goes where.
Yeah, and then I'll yell at you like how I yell at my employees. So don't cry, okay? In the kitchen, we're direct. We don't say please or thank you.
Did I do that right?
Yeah, you did it
Okay.
good. You did it real good. Okay.
Okay.
And then, what we'll do is the salt won't go on it because the salt's in the fish already.
Uh-huh.
But what you can do is just grab it.
Okay.
It doesn't have to put all of this.
Uh-huh.
Just put just put it like on the side. So go the kimchi, the edamame, the cucumber, the takwan,
Okay.
all on the edge like that.
Okay. So this is kimchi.
That's kimchi. Yep.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. That's plenty. That's good. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and then whichever one you want to work with next.
Okay. Does it go in any particular
no,
order?
no, it doesn't go in any
Okay.
particular. But like this in here, I would just put it to the side and
And then just
shove. Yeah,
okay.
even that for the.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
you do how you do though. I want you to look normal. I'm like natural,
Natural.
natural.
And next?
And then you can do the cucumber kimchi. So that's English cucumbers with kimchi base on it. And oh man, that is the base right there.
Yeah.
That base goes on good on shrimp, like you just boil tofu,
Tofu.
tofurkey, whatever. It goes good on.
On
But
veggies?
yeah, on veggies, yeah,
What
that
is-
is.
I mean, I don't want you to give your secret,
Yep.
but
So-
what's
so-
in the sauce?
So this is just a base I buy. It's a brand that I was raised using. The amount of stuff I go through here is hard for me to make all my own stuff. If I was less busy, I could get away with it. But I go through so much that I found a flavor that I like that I use, and this is a kimchi base that we use.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
oh
it
my,
smells
my
delicious.
my mouth's watering. Just
My
the
mouth's
base is
salivating,
yeah,
yes.
that base is amazing. So it's a
And it's
kimchi base
beautiful.
on English. Yeah, it's on English kimchi cucumbers. So obviously when we make the bowl, on high demand, when we make a bunch, we don't. The sauce is already mixed on it. But this one here, I just put it on top because it looks prettier.
Nice. Cool.
So.
Okay.
After-
I don't want to.
Yeah, after,
Okay.
after we'll get it after,
Okay.
after, okay. And then this one here, we only put like 4 pieces on,
Okay.
and that's the takwan.
Takwan?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's Japanese pickled radish, and it is really stinky. And I was the only Portuguese Hawaiian family in a Japanese neighborhood when we lived, so the Japanese always had a nice garden. Like all the Japanese guys in our neighborhood always had nice gardens. So they would make these daikon radishes and give it to us. And this was on our dinner table every night. So it's stinky.
You said only like 4?
Yeah, about that much. Yeah. I can't get this. I used to make my own, but I go through so much that I can't. I don't have room to store it. So I actually have to drive to Eugene to buy. So I got to go to Eugene to buy that. I got to go to Eugene to buy the base.
Wow.
I got to go to Eugene to buy the soy sauce that I use. So there's none of that in there.
Eugene can't bring it here?
No,
Come
no,
on,
they can't.
Eugene.
No, and anybody that I asked that could bring it here is double the price. So $50 in Eugene, $100 here.
Oh my
And it's just like, okay, it's just not going to be, I just can't
Yeah.
pull that kind of cash,
Right.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so that's the 2. And now it's time for the main one.
Which Which
is the poke.
okay.
And then
Do I use
yeah.
that with a spoon? Or
Yeah, I would just spoon this one just because you want to put like a full spoon on here.
Okay.
And all this is chilled, so it's not sitting out for a while, so you can eat it. Okay.
So this is poke?
So this is this is the spicy ahi tuna.
Oh, spicy ahi tuna.
Tuna, yep.
Okay.
So it is marinated in our soy sauce and the salt and a couple other ingredients, and then I put my spicy aioli on there that we make here in house, and that's the spicy sauce. The traditional poke is usually with soy sauce, sesame oil, a little bit of chili flakes, some kukui nuts and stuff like that. But here, so we can streamline it, this I go with the spicy only.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And where do you get your tuna from?
We get it through a lot of places. This Orca Bay gets it for us. Yeah, that's good right there.
You want me to wait?
It's all sustainable caught fish, wild fish that we get, and we have some suppliers here that bring it to us daily. Everything's previously frozen. Nothing's fresh, just because we are in Central Oregon. And okay, and that's good. There you go. Yep. Okay, and then.
Okay.
No worries. I waited till the camera's off. I wasn't gonna scold you.
You gotta adjust.
Okay. So then I'm just gonna put this on here just
And
before.
what is that?
This is a wasabi aioli.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Then,
I'll let you do the last sprinkle here.
which is
And you just sprinkle lightly. This is the furikake. That's the seaweed, the seaweed rice seasoning. And like I said, it's got seaweed and sesame and all the other goodness in there. And then I would just sprinkle it right on the fish there. And then there's one thing I didn't get. I'll go get here. I know. You're the cook today. You tell us. There you go. And that's a little bit of everything from.
And no salt.
No salt. The salt's in the fish. The salt is just, that's the key ingredient. It's from that. So this salt, it comes from Salt Pond Beach Park on Kauai, and they make it in the traditional way where they have a well there that they dug right next to the ocean, and for some reason, something about that bay collects all this very, very salty water. And they would go and they'll grab the water and they'll put it in big clay beds that they make with the clay that's also in the ocean. So if you dig down in the sand, you'll get clay. You use that clay to put on the ground, and they pour the water in these clay beds, and it dehydrates, and it comes this fine, really coarse salt.
Wow. So did I pass the test?
Beautiful.
Do I have a job at Aina?
Beautiful. Yes.
Sorry, team.
Yeah.
To support Ian and his business, come by Aina Food Truck on Thursday, May 27th, all day, and mention green drinks, and you'll get 10% off your meal. Thank you again to Ian and Aina and for sharing all his beautiful words and his story with us and our community. Please continue to support your local BIPOC community members here in Central Oregon.